All right, ladies and gentlemen, one last little snippet here of our antebellum / pre-Civil War Western expansion unit as part of Period 5 of APUSH. Comes from unsolved issues and new opportunities that occur as part of this Western movement, and especially after our post-U.S.-Mexico War issues. All right, so first off, we have a new party that developed called the Free Soil Party. They said free soil, free speech, free labor, free men. Biggest part they want to do is make sure that we didn't see slavery extend to the new territories. A lot of these were the former anti-slave members of Liberty and Whig parties. Anti-slave Whigs went over here. You have a lot of Northern Democrats who are very unhappy. We call them barn burners because they weren't happy with how the Democrats were doing things, especially in regards to slavery. Question is, why would they want to not extend the idea of slavery out to the territories? And the biggest thing came down to, well, they're anti-slavery, slavery is either immoral, illegal, etc., or the issue going along lines of how trying to keep that balance between slave and free states happening in Congress, and they want more slave states to kind of pop up and occur. As we move west, right, you have this issue of this new territory we got, and where we said Wilmot Proviso said 1846 said, yeah, no new slave states in here, but that's just kind of the big worry they have, is that the big chunk of new territory becomes slave territory. So here we have our presidential election, 1848. Notice we have our new state, Texas, down here. Texas a lot bigger back then too. Holy crud, right? You have Democrats and you have Whigs, and we have Whig President Zachary Taylor. Right here, the old rough and ready general from the U.S.-Mexico War. He kind of used his political and his military power to kind of take over our next two guys. We do see two other candidates. We have Lewis Cass, who is the Democrat that actually does very well in the north, and you also have your free soiler Martin Van Buren coming back again, and he doesn't get much of a vote. But it's a pretty close election when you think about it. But you see the Whigs winning even down here in the south, because Taylor wasn't necessarily all that anti-slavery. Now you have our Mexican secession as new parts. You have this big area here that is brought up by from Mexico as part of the Treaty of Guadalupe, including California, Nevada, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, etc. And we'll add this little chunk later on called the Gadsden Purchase in a minute. I'll kind of talk about later on. But now this new area is a big question about what's going to happen. Who's going to settle here? How's it going to become a state? All big questions that need to be answered. And this whole thing shocks 1848 when you have gold discovered. So all of a sudden, at Sutter's Mill, here's John A. Sutter, runs a lumber mill out in Northern California. And one of his workers find gold flakes in the river as they're floating down logs and that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden he finds out, and then he starts bragging, and then everyone brags everybody else, and news gets back west, and all of a sudden gold fever is created. This guy just kept his mouth shut. He probably would have been much richer, you know what I mean? But it creates a gold fever, right? The idea of gold fever is that everyone thinks, oh my gosh, I'm going to go somewhere, where it might be, we're going to find a whole crap ton of gold, we're going to get all kinds of rich, and it's going to be great. A lot of people don't, and that's the bad side of it. Now, they take three routes to get out there. The poorest will take the wagon route out, and, after the Donner disaster had happened, before that, people kind of, stopped going out west after the whole, get stuck and eat each other kind of thing. And so now that picks up again after the Donner Party disaster in the Western movement. But most go by wagon across the plains. They sell everything off, go by wagon. Some will go by a steamship. They'll go either by steamship to Panama, cross Panama, and then go to California, or they'll take a steamship all the way around South America. Now, obviously, steamships are a lot faster, but they're also more expensive. So if you have more money to blow, you may go by steamship, and then later on you can go, if you need to later on, we can go by a different method as well. California, now is U.S. territory, right? Becomes a state pretty quickly because so many people settle there. It becomes a free state. We'll talk about how that rolls into the Commerce of 1850 later on as well. People who move to California, who's actually taking this risk going here for gold fever? Well, first off, the prospectors, right? People are out there trying to find gold, looking for gold, panning for gold, and most of them don't find a gosh darn thing. The real people that get rich, though, are the salesmen. The ones who go out there and they set up all the shops and everything. They find the gold mine supplies, all the stuff for axes and shovels and all that kind of stuff, dynamite, food, etc. And they jack the price up because supply and demand. All these goods they have are in very, very high demand for people moving out west. They need it. And so they're going to make money hand over fist selling stuff to these prospectors when they get out there. The other people make money are the town people. They set up saloons and houses of, shall we say, ill repute, and all those kind of things out there. These miners are out there mostly male, mostly young. They need entertainment. They'll blow a lot of their money on alcohol and other stuff, entertainment, after they've been out in the woods or out in the river doing all this mining kind of stuff. And honestly, out there, gold is used as money. Most miners will lose their shirt because if they do find anything, they'll blow it on stuff. In fact, the phrase "just a pinch," right, comes from gold. And they used to sell a shot of whiskey out west for a pinch of gold dust from somebody's gold collection. So they find the bartenders with the biggest thumb and forefinger possible, so they could get the biggest pinch of gold. It wasn't until they made the San Francisco Mint out there that they actually had a way to take all the gold they're finding and put it into coins. Now, so here's our gold rush, right? And just kind of show you where all the mines were out here. Here's your old California trail going around San Francisco. All these little triangles are these major gold mines we got heading out here. Okay, and you can see our major outfitting center was Sacramento, later on the future capital of California, as these guys go on for different mining camps trying to find different places to go. Your sea traffic all comes in here through San Francisco and then comes down through San Jose up this way to your new trails and hooking up to all these different gold mining areas that are out here. Here's an example of some people digging for gold, men, women, etc. We'll talk about Chinese involved in this area too, because a lot of Chinese will move out here as west as well to try and collect gold. So you'll see this whole process go down. A lot of times they would dig up the dirt here, and gold is very heavy, so it sits on the bottom. They run it through the slough, which will be a number of traps to kind of trap the gold as the rest of the lighter dirt and stuff runs off. They also do big chemical mining operations. Well, start using different chemicals, acids, that kind of stuff, to get the gold out of the rock as well. So what you can do to California is want a lot of people move out there, right? And this is San Francisco, they're one of those big outfitting cities, right? Here it is in 18 where it might be in 1840, before this whole thing happened. Small town, little coastal town, right? By 1860, almost 300,000 people moved to California, and San Francisco blows up. Both because these California, Oregon trails and all that kind of stuff are coming out west here, and it's huge. I mean, these cities explode fast as they can be built. They're built haphazardly, they're built all kind of crazy around the land they have, not really well planned out. And it's kind of a little mess that they have going forward here. And see, the territorial growth is huge out here. We add all this different area. This is all the area we're adding during that Polk administration out here, this last third of the country. And this last little chunk here in 1853 is called the Gadsden Purchase. We buy this last little chunk of Arizona and New Mexico from Mexico for $10 million. And, even though Mexico really didn't want to do it, President Santa Anna, who was at the time, probably said, you know what? He didn't want to have another conflict over land and stuff. So, ta-da, sold it for $10 million, and there we go. So we see the U.S., the lower 48 states are now complete as of 1850. And as we go west here, these bigger questions go on now about states' rights. So go on about things like, slavery and what's going to happen out here as we go forward. So the areas we add, boom, this whole area out here, little chunk of Minnesota, by our Webster-Ashburton Treaty, off the Arstook War, and that's where we're going to have our United States. Leave you guys with this here, right? This is our Western Course of Empire, 1860. You see this painting kind of showing how people moving west out to tackle the great beyond and hopefully do well as we do it. We're going to talk gold rush a little bit and that kind of stuff on Monday. A couple activities with that, as well as the Chinese immigration. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. You all have yourselves a wonderful day.